What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I know what you're thinking. This guy just can't let this game go. And you know what? No, I can't. So fasten your seatbelts. It's time to talk about Starfield. Before we get into this too far, let me know how many new game pluses this is for you. I am currently on my second playthrough, and I'm curious to know how many times you've gone through the campaign now. Let me know in the comments down below, and while you're down there, be sure and smash that like button with all the mystical powers of a Starborn. And let's help get this video pushed out to more viewers. So now that the most recent update is out of beta and has gone live, it's time to go over this epically massive list of fixes and game improvements. Of course, I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't point out the blatant lack of a moon buggy in this list.
You'll never get me, you bastard.
I'm just saying. All right, so jumping over to the Bethesda webpage, we've got probably more notes than we've ever had, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to do a lot of skimming here. I tried recording this twice, and there was just no way I could get through all these notes in less than an hour. And no one, not even the Catgirls, will entertain my dumb ass for that long. So we're going to hit the highlights, and if you want a more detailed look at every fix there is, then I will, of course, include a link to the patch notes in the description under the player. All right, so this is the Starfield update 1.10.31, which came out March 19th. I kind of want to call this the say cheese update, but it's much more than that, because it does more and brings more than just facial expressions and poses for the photo mode. But anyway, let's just go ahead and read this here. It says, "Say cheese, our latest update brings new ways to show off your modeling skills in space with the addition of new poses and expressions for you and your companions. We excitedly await more showing off of your photography. We also understand that digipics are precious, so we've made an adjustment that allows you to undo without the penalty cost of a digipic during the security minigame. Not without fixes. We also have a multitude of fixes to quests, graphics, gameplay, and more. Take a look at the full list below for all the details on what's in this update. As always, we appreciate your feedback and attention to providing us details on the issues you encounter. Keep them coming." So here's a brief overview of the features. Photo mode ability, added the ability to set expressions and poses on player and companions in photo mode. Scanner, you can now open doors and harvest with the scanner open. Setting course on an inactive quest will now make it the active quest. Added support for adjusting field of view when using third-person ship view. Yes, thank you. Added an anisotropic filtering quality slider for PC. Removed the digipic cost for using undo during the security minigame. Guys, I can't tell you how awesome that is. Added an autosave when fast traveling from a planet's surface to orbit, and updated the ship UI to perform more smoothly at higher frame rates, which, let's be honest here, I don't know if that's going to work for the Xbox players, but there's still hope for the future, right? Anyway, looking at the fixes, guys, like I said, I'm just going to have to skim through here. Look at this. There are so many things that have been fixed, and this is just one category. We haven't even gotten to gameplay. Look, there's gameplay. So many fixes. And then it keeps going. Then we get down here to graphics, and they've got a bunch of graphical fixes. They've got fixes to the outposts. They have got a absolute butt ton of quest fixes. And there is a note here that says there may be spoilers within. Proceed with caution. Now, like I said, I'm going to be posting a link to this in the description so you can check out the full notes in your own time, because it would take me way too long for this video to go through every single one of these. That's how many updates and fixes and notes that there are. But if you haven't completed the main campaign, then, all I can tell you is go through these quest fixes at your own risk, because you're probably going to get spoiled on something, and we wouldn't want that to happen. And then finally, down here we get save and load patch notes for ships, text localization, and UI. And so let's go back up here quickly to the top, and we're just going to highlight some of these things here. We're just going to look at some of them. A lot of this stuff is very small fixes, things that we probably wouldn't have noticed. I know probably 90% of these I never would have noticed in the game. Stuff like a spot where the player could get out of the world on the Siren of the Stars, or corrected a sign found on the key. Here's one. Fixed a stool that couldn't be sat on in the Red Mile. Stuff like that. So many of these little small fixes, and I can only assume that this is because they're getting ready for something big. Something big is coming, and they needed to get this checklist done. So these are all of like the, what did it say? Art fixes. So coming down here to gameplay, we've got a lot of fixes that seem to be small quality of life fixes, and just things that are going to be fixed that were just out and out broken. Fixed, like, for example, fix an issue with ship power allocations decreasing unintentionally due to crew member bonuses. Fix an issue that could turn the player's head to the left when sprinting in third person. I want to know if they fixed the issue of the character that was looking off in the wrong direction, and then it would get stuck like that with the weird eyes. Boarding encounter should now have a better difficulty distribution. Moving down, we've got issues like fix an issue with rejuvenation effects remaining active. Fixed an issue where wellness skill did not apply actively when leveling up. Like I said, a lot of these are things that I probably never would have noticed and just assumed they were part of the game. But these were also clearly on someone's list of things to be done. Here's one. Fixed an issue where mom and dad could participate in different conversations with each other at the same time. And I got to tell you, that just sounds like typical parents, if you ask me. So yes, a lot of these may seem like they're very small, but again, there's no telling how long these have been on someone's list that have just needed to be fixed. Moving down here, we've got address an issue where companions would not be dressed correctly if a stolen outfit was removed due to an arrest. Quest-specific companions such as Emma Wilcox or Walter Stroud are now prevented from taking weapons from locked chests when they are out of ammo. Fixed crash that could occur when the player holds a corpse in front of a minor. Guys, I don't know why you would want to hold a corpse up in front of a minor. Leave those kids alone. Moving down, we've got graphical fixes. We've got improved lighting on particles at night when using the flashlight. Both PC, medium, high, ultra, and Xbox Series X. Fixed rare depth of field visual issues. Let's see. Fixed an issue that could display black squares around a planet when the planet's rings were visible in the background of the star map. Fixed rare flickering on characters when DLSS was enabled. Moving down to outposts, we've got resolved an issue that could make a workbench appear to be obstructed. Tweaked the snapped distance for storage containers. Fixed objects stacked onto auto foundations not moving correctly if the foundation is moved. So moving down here to quests, I'm not going to go through these because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but there's a lot of quests. I know this is a big one. Every time there's been an update or a patch, people were saying, but what about this quest? What about that quest? What about this mission? Has this been fixed? I've been stuck. I can't complete this, or someone isn't there. I can't talk to them. All of these things look like they are being addressed one after the other. Moving down, we've got save and load. Resolved an issue that could cause bonus skins to appear to be removed from stored items after loading a save. Fixed an issue that could cause a crash or create a corrupted save file when attempting to sync with 0 local storage available. Not exactly sure what that one's about. Resolved an issue that could cause characters to try to pass through ships after loading a save. Just some really rare, crazy stuff. And then, of course, ships. Fixed an issue that could cause furniture to be doubled. I can't tell you how happy I am to hear that. I got a ship. I put my stuff down. I put my stuff in the storage lockers. I then went and got another ship. And when I came back to this other one, because the new one didn't suit me, when I came back, everything was suddenly doubled. It's like, hey, we're just going to mass produce a copy of everything. And there it was. I'm so glad to see that that's taken care of. fixed an issue that could result in missing items in ship after a module modification, addressed clutter items blocking pathways and ladders in ships. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Text and localization fixes. Special descriptors and weapons names now appear properly when playing in localized languages. Fixed various typos and translation errors. I think I might have noticed one of those. And then we've got UI, added the ability to invert the X-axis on a controller in the settings menu. Yes. Holding RB or Alt on the star map will now show the names of all star systems. Guys, that is... Thank you. When using a keyboard, the players can now control their ship's power allocation when pressing left Alt key and keys 2, 4, 6, and 8 on the number pad. Yes. Fixed an issue where body face apparel would not be hidden when visiting Enhance. Just lots of other little fixes. Adjusted the name of the London landmark on the planet map. So there you have it, a brief highlight of the patch notes for update 1.10. Like I said earlier, if you want to go over them yourself in more scrutiny and detail, I will have a link in the description down below. Now, I do want to point out that I am extremely happy that Starfield is still actively being worked on and more bugs and issues are being found and addressed. But I gotta say, I am curious just how many problems did this game ship with? Sure, we know that updates and patches can often apply more problems, but by this point, it seems as though Starfield has enough patch notes under its belt that it could almost pass as a novel or the world's largest technical manual. This thing would be thick. With so many things being addressed here, I can only assume that Bethesda is getting ready for something big, really big. Maybe even that long-awaited DLC we keep hearing about. I have no doubt that it will come with its own number of bugs and glitches. So, I mean, such is the nature of games these days. But at least we should have less crossover problems between vanilla issues and shattered space issues. No one wants a DLC to be integrated into the game where we just have this gigantic buffet of problems and glitches and issues. Now, regardless, there is a lot of positives here, and I'm excited to see where we're headed next. Okay, so against my better judgment, I'm going to open up the discussion to you. What is your take on this new patch, and how do you think the game is performing now that it's finally here, now that we've got this big update? Let me know by heading to the comments, and let's get some conversation going. Guys, that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, then be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more game news and updates, if you want to catch my Twitch streams, there is a link to that, including my Discord, where we talk about everything from games to anime and so much more. It's going to be in the linkity-link place down below. Guys, as always, have an amazing day. Keep being awesome, and I will see you all in the next video.